The definition of education is something every person goes through for 13 years to gain knowledge and information from teachers. Students can have the opportunity to hire their education to go to college and go into a career they choose to be part of a functioning society. There are three purposes of education: for students to gain information to further their education, for students to gain knowledge to be a member of society, and for students to have a role model and someone who cares and supports them if they don't have a person like this at home. I started elementary school in Arizona. It was really good and I learned a lot because I had caring teachers who wanted me to succeed. I moved to Colorado halfway through 3rd grade, which was hard because the standards were higher than in Arizona. My teachers really had to help me catch up in everything that I had missed, especially in math, because we hadn't covered it yet in Arizona. Once I had caught up, I did really well the rest of the year and through 5th grade. My 3 years of middle school were some of the best schoolwork because I had straight A's all 3 years while I was there. I was very successful in every class I took and had some of the best friends through these 3 years that ended up going to my high school, so I didn't lose any friends, and we always did things together at school and outside of school. My first 2 years of high school were okay because I had all of my friends from middle school in choir with me and in the majority of my classes since we were in the International Baccalaureate program, also known as IB. Since I was an IB, I had to take a foreign language course, so I stuck with Spanish since I took it all 3 years in middle school. I did not do well in high school Spanish, so it hurt my GPA my first 2 years. My junior year was the hardest year of all for me because I had dropped out of the IB program and choir since I had 2 AP classes, swim team practice, and volunteer work at my church, so I didn't have much time to do my homework. Because I had dropped out of these 2 programs, I lost all of my friends for the rest of high school because I wasn't with them constantly like before. So the majority of my friends were from swim team and church, but the majority of them did not go to my school, so I was alone a lot of the time. The second part of junior year got better because I was taking beginning yearbook the first semester and then went into advanced yearbook second semester. So I gained more friends and I had a teacher who was willing to help me out, and she cared for me and let me hang out in her classroom during my off times. My senior year was really good because I had really good friends from yearbook, swim team, church, and my job. My schoolwork and GPA went up a lot since I was doing better in classes and managing my time better than junior year. Senior year was very enjoyable for me because I got to work with students who were disabled in the lowest level math course. These students were the greatest students and the best experience I could ask for to finish off my senior year of high school. The first neighborhood I grew up in was in Texas. We had almost a whole acre of land. There were no sidewalks and not very many children on the street that I lived on. The neighborhood was established and was much older. It was a single-family home. The demographics of this were 19,136 households. The median household income was $67,213. The median age was 29. 34.5% of the households were married with kids, and 25% of adults had a bachelor's degree or higher. The second neighborhood I lived in was in Arizona. We lived on a street with lots of kids around. We had a pool in the backyard, and there was a neighborhood park. It was an established neighborhood, and it consisted of single-family homes. The demographics of this neighborhood was the population was 642 households. The median household income was $68,035. The median age was 34. 43.5% of the households were married with kids, and 33% of adults had a bachelor's degree or higher. The last neighborhood I lived in was in Colorado. It had lots of adults that didn't have many kids, and there was about 15 kids that rode the bus to school my first year here. We had a recreation center in the neighborhood, and later on we got a park. It was a new neighborhood, and our house was the 10th house to be built. It consisted of single-family homes. The demographics of this neighborhood: the population was 464 households. The median household income was $81,065. The median age is 35. 54.6% of the households are married with kids, and 57% of adults have a bachelor's degree or higher. My first teacher that helped me is Mrs. Demas. She was my 5th grade teacher and was very caring and wanted me to succeed. The next teacher is Miss West. She was my 8th grade Algebra 1 teacher, and she wanted you to succeed as well. She was very caring and was very helpful to me. The next person that helped me was Mrs. Balker. She was my counselor for 10th through 12th grade. She was very helpful and easy to talk to and helped make a lot of my decisions easy for me. One of my other teachers was Miss Bell. She was the yearbook advisor. She was very helpful, like another mom, and caring to me and all of her students. The last teacher that helped me was Mr. Richardson. He was my AP statistics teacher. He helped me with my text anxiety. He was caring and wanted me to do well and do well on the test as well.